Ashley. Here live, and it was just nonstop pow, 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 pow in Crit City. But once they moved over to Innsbruck, she was able to break away early and hold almost to the line on the top of the Innsbruck after party before Kolczynski just caught her in the last couple of K. This is a rider who loves attrition. That's the thing here, and that's going to be her wild card that she can play today. She's got jokers up the sleeve with that, Dave.
Yeah, 100%, Nathan. And yeah, that's one rider. And what we can do is keep breaking this down. And it's nice the women are giving us a chance to here as it's still Grupo Compacto. There's a path to victory that's imaginable for every rider as we take a look at Elise Gallegos here. But that's Jackie Godby that on paper comes in as the most decorated American in esports. I think that Krista Kolczynski has had a limelight on her, especially with her racing style. And one of the best races that speaking of Gabby Guerra, one of the best races that we've ever seen was on Project Echelon Series just a few weeks ago with Guerra and Kolczynski going to the line together. And that's really been the theme of Project Echelon is just great racing. And you never know who's going to come along and upset the apple cart. As I take a look at riders, I mean, I mentioned Sarah Roach. Melissa Aitken deserves the same kind of recognition. She has really been doing the work, coming on strong.
The start line, great to see Kristen here now as well. Us know, gives us a little what's up. And Matt, actually, let's see if Matt, I'm going to see if he can actually chat with us a little bit, actually. Matt, can you hear us?
Charge is on Nathan. They've opened the throttle all the way up here on 23rd.
Yeah, Duffy Jr. all in. It looks like up over the top of 23rd. His teammate, though, now to the front. It looks like that's going to be, it's going to be Uberti, and Duffy Jr., the two of them making the moves, but Freyet knows exactly who to jump on when it comes to the wheels here. Look at the face on Duffy Jr. He wants this one. He's been setting up for it all through the Echelon Racing League, but can he deliver when it matters? His teammate Uberti to the front now, it looks like, trying to lean out Duffy Jr. The splits are happening now, Dave. It looks like 3, 4, 5, a little bit of a group behind. I think it's going to come back together, but it's going to be a reduced field here for the climb up and over the top of Governors.
We've got an OSS situation. Only the strong survive. We've got Governors coming up. How about David Talbot? David Talbot is standing up to next and short. This is a phenomenal ride from Talbot, but man, has he got his hands full as Jay Brune is there. Jay Brune has been one of the top Americans over the last 4 years. He's been a consummate teammate on this next and short team as well. He's exactly the guy you want riding shotgun with you if you're Brian Duffy Jr. So let's sort this one out and take some inventory here. Nathan, it looks to me now like Zach Nair here. I'm going to guess Nair gets out front of this for his teammate Brian Duffy Jr. That would be the play if I were next in short.
Looking back here, it looks like in with the top 12, let's say here. We're trying to find the back end of this. So
15
on
maybe?
that for a second. Maybe 15. Yeah, I was looking for where the exact split was there. Zimmer has made it from Project Echelon. We've got Duffy Jr. Brune is here as well. It's all going to be about the setup with the punch. Now, Dave, this is a drag up Governors at a solid 5 to 6% gradient, and then there's a kick afterwards. Restart all over the front of this. Jaden Yager being the laid out man. It's got to be for Neil Freyet. Don't you think, Dave?
100%, Nathan. Let's see. So Jaden already has a national championship as a master. Let's see what he can do. This is going to be Chris Uberti. I have a feeling Uberti, same kind of concept here, is they're trying to set the table for their teammates. Nathan, Governors is one of the most underrated climbs. This is nearly as hard as 23rd. It's not quite as featured as Libby, but this is it. Right here, right now. It's all going down in race number 1 of 3. I don't know how you beat Brian Duffy Jr. today, but David Talbot's going to try to show me.
Oh, now the kick's coming here. Here comes Talbot now. The response here coming in. It's going to be Near here trying to respond as well. Near's in 4th place. Duffy Jr. up and over the top, 5.9 watts per kilogram. Zach Near's got 9 watts per kilogram. This is a guy who could go from way out from this moment forward. He's either going to be the lead out man or he's going to take the win, because I think Zach Near's going all in.
Oh, going nuclear powered right now. Look at that face on Zach Nair as it's etched with pain. You don't dig any deeper than he is right now, but I think it's really going to be working out for his teammate here as well as Brian Duffy Jr. is right there. This is the charge of the Light Brigade. Our finale, Nathan, of race number 1. There's 200 points waiting at the line for our first finisher, 190 for second. This makes a big difference. Wow, Neil Freyet. What a ride from Neil. He's going to make his mark here, Nathan.
Is Freyet going to do it? No. Duffy coming. It's going to be Brian Duffy Jr. for the punch to the line. Duffy Jr. all in. Brian Duffy Jr. makes it happen, or no? Freyet's going to kick to the line. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Duffy. Duffy takes it down. Brune, the next one across the line. I believe. Oh, he just hit the handlebars. Oh, David, Michael in the back end API. Oh, that was a close one.
Ah, boy. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is what USA Cycling's Esports National Championship is all about. You don't dig digger. I still think that was Brian Duffy Jr. We'll go look at the count back with the back end API. It don't lie. But Nathan, one thing's for sure, that was a thrilling bike race. How about Zach Nair getting out there to help set up his teammate Brian Duffy Jr. Neil Freyet, he's the breakthrough rider of the year without any question on the restart presented by Alex Coe's team. So these teams showed their patience.
Dave,
It's Duffy Jr.
It's got to be, right? I mean, look, that was just a celebration. That was a celebration is what that was. It had to have
that
been.
was enthusiasm.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, man.
Was that awesome?
The racing is so good. It seriously is just so good. Absolutely love it. Well,
look how low her heart rate is, all things.
This is all about just dropping like flies, isn't it, Dave? Like, it's kind of just, okay, did I make that one? All right, reset after Libby. All right, did I make 23rd? I've made 23rd, or you're the aggressor over 23rd. Now we got to look at governors, and then it's just this all-out dash to the line after you've made or have not made governors, Dave. It's really a very interesting course when it comes down to the way you have to race it.
How many riders, Nathan, are in the front group as we go into the red kite prayer? Is it 5? Is it 3? Is it 1? It's really hard to predict what's going to happen out here, and that's what's so exciting about this racing is this could go a whole bunch of different ways. But Nathan, this is the big U-turn. I say right here, right now, this race really gets going because we're starting to ramp it up. Watch the gradient there in the top right-hand corner. You're going to see it kind of go up and down a little bit, but all of a sudden we're into Libby Hill, and you know that the attacks are going to be coming. So Jackie Godby well positioned here. Meg Lester having an incredible ride. Melissa Aiken up there. Jen Reel still waiting, though, for the Van Howlings, the Gallegoses, and the Kolchinskis to make their move. They're really playing the patience card. We're going to go back now to Jackie Godby in her pain cave.
Godby here now, Dave. She's got it today. That's a big question mark here. You know, we keep talking about all of these different athletes that I have a little bit more confidence about my predictions. Today, I really have no idea what's going to be coming from
Me
Godby.
too.
But look at this, Dave. The move is coming in here from Sidlick. Early going here from Sidlick. Interesting to see Stephanie Sidlick. But you know, if Stephanie's going to win, this is how she's got to do it, Dave. She's got to take it to the rest of them because it really is for her about taking it to them on the climbs. We've seen her do it time and time again. She's always been just that third place, that fourth place, in that second, not quite able to get the W's. Will today be Sidlick's day?
Nathan, I'm looking at Elise Gallegos. For me, she's like the sea lions sitting outside of the locks waiting for the salmon to pop through, and she's just going to chomp into them. This is going to be a really big moment for her. Kolchinski trying to get up on that wheel, but I really expect the explosion is coming. It's like a ticking time bomb as we're here on the cobbles of Libby Hill right now. And looks like Gallegos is just about ready to launch. She's entered the code. It's Roach on her wheel. Great job by Sarah Roach to hold on right now. She's up and out of the saddle. She's gone to the whip and is absolutely flogging herself now. So this is it. Big move, big moment as Elise Gallegos is going to split this group. How much damage is she going to do here, Nathan?
Gallegos now, what a move here by Gallegos, really pushing the pressure here up at that 11%. Now Nyquist, now Kolchinski's here. Van Howling's made it. We also still see Sarah Roach. It's going to be Stephanie Sidlick on it. Jennifer Reel is still with it as well, Dave. There's plenty of bodies still making this initial kick. Gallegos, she pulls the pin here, Dave, but the grenade's not gone off just yet.
No. How about Kolchinski? More than holding her own out there right now. Sarah Roach up and over the top. This is an incredible ride by Sarah Roach here out of Houston, Texas. So Sarah Roach is going to bring them up and over the top of Libby. We're going to dive bomb our way. Nathan, this is where Zwift craft is so critical. This next 500 meters or so, you can really do yourself a favor if you can play it right. That's, again, Sarah Roach. What an incredible ride Sarah Roach is having out here today. It's Melissa Aiken sitting on her two-wheel. They're both the rookies of the year here in 2020. Well, I was going to say 2023, moving into 2024. Stephanie Sidlick there. The Pride of Pittsburgh sitting third wheel. Kolchinski fourth wheel. So, wow, we are really starting to sort things out as we are dive bombing our way down to the bottom of 23rd now.
Sarah Roach here, nice little attack from her, but Dave, is it too much too early here? There's
got
a little bit of a gap here, actually. Maybe stand up her teammate. Aiken now coming up over the top, it looks like here, but Dave, here comes the ramp up over the top. It's Liz Van Howling. Van Howling with a kick. Whoa, Dave, is this going to be her day? Liz, what a move by her. She's got a whole bunch of power coming on through. 10 watts per kilogram. She looks so calm. Look at how calm she is, Dave.
Nathan Gallegos must have just had a dropout. Something happened there at the front as Van Howling is going absolutely ballistic, but Gallegos is, oh no. So that is a dramatic moment here. So Liz Van Houweling is our leader. We've lost Gallegos. Gallegos has had a power dropout. She is out of the race. Unbelievable. So she was going ballistic when that blew. She was on the front, and then now let's go back to the front of the race so we pick up the action as Liz Van Houweling is our leader. Kolchinski now taking over. That's going to be KK to the front. So, oh boy, we talked a lot about how she was feeling coming into this race. KK putting them into trouble right now. Van Houweling, KK, Sidlick, Nyquist, Real. That's your top five with Godby just sitting outside of the top five. That is your race leader, Kristen Kolchinski. Oh, we lost Gallegos. That's a heartbreaker.
Oh, it's such a heartbreak. Maybe she can still finish and have a good couple of races. She's got to still finish, not give up. But Dave, has her trainer completely gone out? But now we're back at the front of the race. She's still sitting at 0 watts per kilogram. Is she just crushed? I mean, oh, so much into one moment. But now it's going to be Godby getting back involved. Look at, oh my God. Why did you start texting, Kristen? Oh my goodness, Real here now. Kolchinski, Sidlick, Nyquist, Van Houweling, Godby looking to get back on terms. Look at the effort from Sarah Roach. 9 watts per kilogram from Roach. Absolutely love to see the effort from this rider trying to get back involved in this race.
Sarah Roach is an absolute fighter, no doubt about it. And look at that, she is back. So we are looking at an absolute Donnybrook going on out here right now. To bring you up to speed for our women's race, unfortunately, we've lost one of our big favorites, Elise Gallegos. The other flip side of that is, Nathan, when you talk about the respiratory virus, one of the best ways to get over that is a huge adrenaline dump. And that's exactly what it looks like Kristen Kolchinski's been doing out here. So going back now to the front of the race, this is going to be Sarah Roach out of Houston, Texas, our leader. Boy, Texas all over the front of the races. That's going to be Jen Real sitting second wheel, then Sidlick, but it does look like it's going to come back together. This is the great...
Doesn't want to sprint. She doesn't want to sprint, Dave, and there she goes. This is the moment she's been waiting for. She's been told to wait right till now. Look at the effort from Kolchinski, all in on this Governor Street. 8 watts per kilogram. Can anyone respond?
Well, if you're gonna come for the queen, you best not miss. And I think they took a big shot and went right by her head as Kristen Kolchinski is your leader. This is a command performance. Now, Nathan, can she close out the deal? I think everybody who's watched KK over the last few years knows that boy, I would not bet against her, that's for sure. As KK is hungry for a national championship, she came to Richmond to lick her dinner plate clean, and that's exactly what she's doing right now. There's not going to be 1 watt left when this one is done and dusted. Nathan, this will go down as one of KK's greatest rides, knowing that she's been fighting illness all week long. Look at the gap that KK has opened up. She's leaving them in the dust. Holy cow, I did not see this one happening. KK, you are legend.
Yeah, she's got a solid 8 seconds here at this point, Dave, so it is going to be a race for second place. Sidlick setting up behind here, Dave, but this is going to be your winner of the first race. It is an Omnium. There's still 2 races to go, but she's going to put a stamp on this one and say, come and get me, everybody, because I'm here to win.
Yeah, well, I have to admit, we had heard that she was sick all week. We've known a lot of folks in the Zwift community that have been battling that. This shows you what Kristen Kolchinski is all about. This woman is pure heart and passion. I don't know if anybody who's dedicated themselves more to esports racing. This doesn't win her the national championship, but it was a great first step. 200 points and the win to Kristen Kolchinski. How about Liz Van Houweling, Nathan?
Great ride from Van Houweling, actually. What a bounce back from a rough ERL, actually, I would say, from her estimation. But it is going to be Van Houweling across the line, followed up by Sidlick. Then it's going to be Nyquist with Real, and then Roach. That is a huge ride, actually, coming in from M. Nyquist. What a result for M.
Huge. Really huge. So this is the quality of American racers that we have here in 2024. And as an American myself, I'm very happy to see that this is where we're at. That's our champion, Kristen Kolchinski. She looked like she was just texting her coach, Josh Lipka. They work very, very closely together on that Virginia Blue Ridge 2024 team. Nathan, we got a very quick turnaround.
Yeah, however, this is extremely quick, actually. So let's jump in real quickly. We'll just get into our top 10 of what just happened, because that was, I mean, we've got a lot to still show you across the board, actually, when it comes to all of the riders. So quick, when it comes to the next race, actually, that's about to start actually for us. So let's go ahead and take a quick little look here. This is your top 10 as it played out.
I'm going to hammer through this, Nathan. Kristen Kolchinski taking the win. Liz Van Houweling for second. Stephanie Sidlick in third. What a race. Emily Nyquist for fourth today. Jen Reel in fifth. Sarah Roach for sixth. Jackie Godby in seventh. Melissa Aitken in eighth. And Christy Tracy rounds out our top 9. Yeah, so again, good problem to have with so much racing happening here. The men and the women's elite national championships. That's your top 9. We do have the corresponding Omnium points to go along with that, as Kolchinski will have a 10-point advantage heading into Bologna for race number 2. They'll be heading over to Neokyo for the third race. But again, Kolchinski for the win, Van Houweling for second. And these are the Omnium points. There's Sidlick now with 180 points sitting in third. M. Nyquist at 175 in fourth. Jen Reel there with 170. And you can see Sarah Roach at 165. Jackie Godby 160, 155 for Melissa Aitken and Christy Tracy, rounding out our top 9. It does score deeper than that, and we'll keep an eye on that for you. But that's where things stand right now after race number 1 for our women. Race 1 of 3 as we jump back in as the men now looking at that countdown, Nathan. We're in Bologna on May 11th in 2019. This was the Giro d'Italia Stage 9, the time trial stage, an exact GPS
and this is a time trial. Yeah, let's make sure everybody knows there is no drafting on. They are forced onto the Zwift TT bikes, and all bikes are neutralized. Just so everybody knows, that is the situation.
Yeah, thank you, Nathan. So this is fun. I've really loved these kinds of races because what you get is in real-time data on what your position is and your pacing changes. This is really an interesting mental battle for riders out here, not taking the bait at times to keep to your pacing schedule. Or do you? We're underway here in Italy.
In Italy now with the TT, as it's going to be right from the get-go. What's going to the big question here? Brian Duffy Jr. able to take that initial win, Dave, but this is a different kind of race. I mean, this is not about just tactics. This is a pure power strategy, and you've really got to figure out how to pace yourself and just Yuka Uberti, Yuka Kubro, they don't even care. And Dave, because of the climb at the end, a rider like Matt Kubro, he's going to want to do something like this to get as much distance on the pack as he can, because those climbers, they're going to come flying when they actually hit that Bologna climb.
Yeah, it's interesting when you look at this course profile, how it's almost completely flat until you make that hard right turn and start the climb about 2/3 of the way into this 8 kilometers. So it really all goes down in the back end of this race. But I'm with you. Matt Kerbo has been a noteworthy rider out here today, and he's going to take it out. Now, as you were saying, Nathan, I just want to reiterate that the riders are receiving no draft here. So it's really important to note that. It changes everything.
Yeah, it is a time trial. There is no draft on at all, and the bikes are neutralized, but they are the Zwift TT bikes, okay? So the wheels don't act, they're having fun with the wheels. They know that they're neutralized, so that's why you see some of them using the steel wheels.
Like
they're having a little bit of a fun with it. Yeah, well, I like that Hayden Puckers, I like what he's done here. It matches the restart. Did all the restart riders do this? Because if they did, that's pretty sick. No, afraid you're not doing the same, but I'm liking what Farm Watts is bringing today.
So the equipment being neutralized allows you to have some fun with that. And again, just creating that level playing field. The reason being that, if you're a level 8,000 Zwifter, you have access to equipment that other riders don't. And we don't want that to be the determining factor. We want this based on ability and tactics out here today. So, Nathan, have you ever raced a time trial on this course? It's a really hard one to pace.
Really hard. This is one of the hardest by far. I definitely, honestly, Dave, this one is a kick in the teeth. I mean, it's you go the pacing up front is difficult to begin with, and then Dave, you've got this monster of a climb in front of you at the end that just never ever stops. It feels like it's man, and here's the thing. It's shortened distance, but with how steep it is, it's so deceiving because of it. And that's what really gets me.
The shorter and steeper a time trial. Well, there's a few factors here, but the Tale of Two Cities element, where you go completely flat and then shift into a climb, and then a short, steep climb, that's as brutal as time trials get. That looks, is that Hayden Pucker that we're in with there?
That is Hayden. That is
there we go. Farm Watts.
Yeah, hanging out in middle Wisconsin. He's got a fat fight. Of course he's got a fat fight going.
Of course,
there.
yeah. And he's drinking Coca-Colas. Now, if there was a guy that you wanted to help you bring in a field of hay, that's your guy right there. I bet you he's got some hay hooks hanging up outside of the room there. As Hayden Pucker, Farm Watts, that was a nickname given to him. We actually had a chance to speak with him after the race a couple of weeks ago. Farm Watts, a nickname given to him by his coach, I believe, which would be Alex Coe.
Absolutely love it. And let's go ahead and jump across here and see what the chase looks like. Here's you, Birdie. Now, here's the thing. Does Hayden know how to pace himself is going to be my question. You know, a lot of riding's been done with him amongst the Project Echelon crew, actually, because Project Echelon, you know, is based out of Wisconsin as far as home base goes. Has done a lot of riding with Eric Hill and some of the crew. And one thing with Hayden is, you know, the concern is, does he know how to pace himself? Does he work too much? Does he work too hard? I mean, that's Farm Watts, right? Like, he just gets in the field, and as you said, he makes hay. But here's the thing, Dave, and sometimes that's come back, well, not just sometimes, that's kind of come back to bite him here and there in the Echelon Racing League, actually. But at this point, Dave, he's looking comfy. And he's got 8 seconds over this field, but I'm not sure he's got the climb to match some of these ones that may be coming on here. My big question is, Talbot here now, 6 watts per kilogram or so. This is going to be a rider to watch out for when it really starts to go up.
Yeah, he might be the rider that this course suits the best, talking about David Talbot. Going back to Hayden Pucker, Nathan, I would rather work back from that problem as a coach, having someone that maybe pacing is the issue because they go out too hard. You can really build off of that, right? When you're looking at it from the other end, you've got a major problem. But when I have a rider who's too animated, too aggressive, I really feel like you can rein that in. You've got the spirit and the ethos of a racer nailed. And again, that's Hayden Pucker, our leader, that we're looking at. Matt Kermosic, second wheel. Tom Corrigan has been coming on strong and is absolutely a rider to watch with Matt Zimmer and Scott Catanzaro rounding out our top 5. This is going to change quite a bit. I'm looking at Neil Freyette. It's only a matter of time until Neil Freyette has a huge result. Could be out here today. And then Jamie Yeager is a multi-time USA Cycling National Time Trial champion. He's good in every element. He's an experienced e-sport racer. He's a great crit racer. And he's a great time trial.
Neil's ready to go uphill. He's pointing his camera up.
He's climbing.
I love it.
That's Neil Freyette
that we're with? Freyette, yeah. And he's definitely pointed straight up.
So,
Dave, that looks familiar to me, doesn't it? Yes.
I know where he is.
Yeah, he's been there. We've done a broadcast from, what's that place called?
I can't believe
the Metier. It's the Metier.
I can't believe you recognize that. That's exactly where I was sitting when we did the broadcast with Eric Min and Kurt and the whole crew there.
Yeah, I love it that they're there. That is so great. Now, I need to do a real quick correction, Dave, just because, just a shout out to Alex Tenselhoff. Alex Tenselhoff is Pucker's. Now, same first name, of course, it makes a lot of sense to not know.
I said Coe.
Yeah,
My bad.
Coe. No,
Sorry.
It's all good. Just a couple in chat. I'm seeing plenty of the Restart and Turbo crew coming in and go, hey. Tenselhoff's got to get the credit there, and I'll give it to him 100%.
Alex. I had the Alex part right, and then I panicked, I think. So Neil Freyette has been a breakthrough rider this year there.
Well, he won one of the ERL. I mean, he won up and over the top. And this would be a favorite for him, perhaps, with that kind of a climb that he won on, Dave. Now, the thing is, this is a lot steeper, though, than the Innsbruck after party, isn't it?
Absolutely, Nathan. This was a time trial that was used in the Giro d'Italia. They don't play around. And Brian Duffy Jr. we're in with now. So again, with no draft here, Nathan, these guys are all pacing off of each other, which David Talbot was 5th in race number 1?
Yeah, that's
Our
a good
winner
question.
there
Actually,
in that
maybe
group?
we should look at that. Are they pacing because it's going to be about
Absolutely they are.
following who they need to watch? I mean, that's a great call, Dave.
Yeah, and so, right, and this is why omniums are so fascinating. That there is a huge element of brain power that goes into winning omniums and recognizing what you need to do and what's a waste of calories out there. And I think all of these guys, like what you're looking at is basically our top 5 in that group.
Yeah, and what place are they in? 6th through, it looks like 7th, 8th, 9th or so here. We are seeing, it looks like Levinson, Freyet, as you said. David Talbot is there as well. So that's the situation. Jaden Yager now making his way forward. Now, Dave, I'm not sure that this favors Jaden too much here, but he is sitting in 5th right now, maybe going to fade climb, but perhaps I'm speaking too soon. Now, Cotton Nazaro to the front. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of our top riders. But Hayden Pucker, Dave, you can't ignore this. He's got 18 seconds, Dave. Is he just rolling this?
Well, you know, this is what you call coming out of the woodwork at this level. So, all right, Hayden Pucker, I'm cheering for Farm Watts, no doubt. Restart is a team that has always been right there, up and out of the saddle. Now, look at the Hayden just getting after it now, absolutely giving her here. That man is a muscle with a heart attached to it, basically. Holy cow.
Man, this guy, I mean, now here's the thing, 530, 540 watts. Can he hold this kind of a... Dave, have they underestimated him? 15 seconds, Dave.
And he doesn't look like he's fading.
No, but Dave, can he hold this? 187 beats per minute right now, Dave. It's still rising, though, and I've done this to myself before on this course. I've gone out this hard. There's still a lot of climbing to go here at this point, but Dave, he's extended it out. Now Levinson's starting to turn the screws at the front here. No, this is 3rd place here. Now the pacing is starting to happen here. 4 stars, no pins. Duffy's right on the wheel now. Man, this is such a great national championship. You're looking at it right here. Hayden Pucker up there. They're all watching each other for a podium right now. The cream is rising to the top. You can see exactly who is who for this national championship right now on your screen.
Oh, this is phenomenal. I don't understand why we don't do more racing like this. With drafting turned off in the time trials, you can see that the pacing being done here by the Next Insured team. Actually, that's a Restart and a Next rider sitting on what's an amazing day for the Sarah's No Pins team. The real story right now is Hayden Pucker. They call him Farm Watts. He's off the front, holding on to a 20-second advantage. Boy, Nathan, I mean, how can you not be pulling for him? This would be one of the greatest underdog stories. For him to win this time trial would be mind-blowing, and he is still putting more coal on the fire. So Hayden Pucker's gone absolutely nuclear out here today. David Talbot now moving up into 2nd, and I still think Talbot is going to be in with a pretty good shot. We've definitely separated the wheat from the chaff at this point with Zimmer, Brian Duffy Jr., Eric Levinson, Neil Freyet, Cameron Cogburn, Scott Catanzaro, Zach Neer, Tom Corrigan, and Jay Brune. That's rounding out your top 10. Jaden Yeager right there as well.
Freyet,
here we go.
Coming on.
Look at the charge from Freyet, Nathan. Wow.
Yeah, this is
he activated.
He's definitely activated here now, but now Levinson's going backwards here. Talbot now up and over the top. So we got Talbot. Pucker's got 20 seconds, 21 seconds.
Still.
7 watts per kilogram still. Dave, this is insane from Hayden Pucker.
This is a true show of strength from Hayden Pucker. I'm blown away by this. The fact that that gap is still holding at 20 is starting to make me believe that he's got a better than 50% chance of holding on to win. David Talbot's going to try to prove him wrong. Talbot is now charging. Look at the watts going up now. So Talbot is going to go ballistic at this point. Brian Duffy Jr. trying to hold on to that wheel. This is the most exciting time trial I've ever seen.
Yeah, Hayden now to the front. Let's see if we can get him involved here as well with this lineup. But Pucker, nicely done, holding on to 18. Dave, he might do it, but now the fading is coming here. Duffy Jr. up over the top. I didn't know Duffy Jr. could climb like this. 492 watts. Now the kick comes from Duffy Jr. Is he going to just put the nail in the coffin for everybody?
Wow! This man is a human wattage cottage as Brian Duffy Jr. came here to win a national championship, and he's not going to let anything get in his way. Remembering he doesn't have to win this time trial to hold on to his lead. He's in great shape right now as watch that gap at 16 seconds. There's the man, absolutely relentless as he buries himself right now. Brian Duffy Jr. has gone all in. look at Neil Freyette holding on, though he's not letting go as he's pacing right off of Brian Duffy Jr. Battle Royale has commenced with Eric Levinson sitting just off that wheel of Neil Freyette. Behind him is David Talbot and then Matt Zimmer. So we really have separated the wheat from the chaff. 12 seconds now, Nathan, 12 seconds. We've got this right at 8 kilometers of racing. It's going to go to the line.
It really is. Freyette here now fading a little bit here. As you can see, it's going to be Duffy Jr. continuing on. Neil, look at the face of Freyette. He's really struggling now at this point, Dave. Can he hold on to this wheel? He's going to kick again. He's up and out of the saddle, as you can see here. Duffy Jr., Pucker. This is your top 3 at this point. They're separated by about 6 seconds. Pucker with a last ditch to the line here. I'm going to take a look here now over to Pucker. Pucker might be able to make this. He's got 6 seconds. But Dave, Duffy Jr. is coming on like a freight train.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at Duffy Jr., he looks like he is rolling right now, picking up more momentum as now he's going back to the whip. That's going to be Hayden Pucker in the red jersey here. Pucker trying to hold off an esport legend. He's making his name right now. There he is.
Duffy Jr. right there. Overtaken over the top. Now he's going to do it. He gets the better of him. I thought perhaps Farm Watts had done it. Now here comes Neil Freyette as well, Dave. Can he hold on? But it's going to be Duffy Jr. Hayden tries to respond. He's unable to do it. Pucker not going to be able to take down Duffy Jr.
It's still an incredible ride from Hayden Pucker. I mean, this is going to go down as his memorable performance to date. You just can't beat the king as Brian Duffy Jr. goes 2 for 2 here in our 3-race Omnium. That is the king of Zwift here. 2 wins now. That's really, really impressive, Nathan. Brian Duffy Jr. is in fuego here today at our USA Cycling National Championships.
Yeah, he is. What a move there by Duffy Jr. So patient out there today. Talbot here is going to round out your top 5 for the second race of 3 in our Omnium. Now it is going to be Zimmer coming on through for 6th place. Zach Neer right behind him as well. For the looks like next presented by Insured, Cameron Cogburn here. Still top 10s, Dave. This is plenty of points because we've got quite the battle here for the Omnium for that podium spot still.
Yeah, the lion's share of points really being distributed right now as they come up and over the top of this climb. That was Cameron Cogburn for Sarah's No Pins finishing. We're in with Scott now, our Master National Champion, and he's on a roll right now. Scott's going to finish up.
Another national champion, Yager. I mean, look at this. We've got lots of stars and stripes fighting for stars and stripes. I absolutely love it, Dave.
How about this ride from Eric Hill? The leader of the Project Echelon program is going to find, looks like a top 15 or even better than that, as we've now got Tom Corrigan rolling through here. Scott and Squirrel, cheer him on.
Nicely done for Corrigan here. Meredith, the rider we were talking about earlier, coming out of the woodwork to jump in with us. Nice ride coming from him. Eric Hill now, it looks like. Good to see Eric. And he's always got this, Eric, he's got the suffer cam. He's got a really, that he likes to set up here for us. Eric Hill, as you can see here, nicely done from Eric, and all around when it comes to the organization so far. We love the work that they've put in and the kind of connection to the cycling community that they have brought. Sagerbrook, though, a little bit of a kick, gets the better of him at the line. This is Reidenbach. Now, Reidenbach, we saw him with some early attacks actually on Libby Hill. Brave man for Turbo here.
Yeah, and ultimately not a bad performance with an aggressive start. He's still going to hold on for right around the top 20. I did want to go back as we were just seeing Eric Hill and thank Eric for all that he's done. As the effort being made with Project Echelon goes way beyond a bike racing team, as Eric has really committed their resources to supporting veterans here in the United States. It really ties in nicely to what USA Cycling is all about. Their team is continuing to thrive. They've added some real talent for next year. As we see more riders finishing, it's always nice to see couples that are both racing.
Yeah, it's going to be
it's not as rare as you
Megan
think.
Lester and Riley Wrightston, actually. So nicely done here. Hopefully he doesn't strip completely down. I know he's on camera.
So he's now wrapping up his second of 3 races in the Omnium, where his partner will be getting ready. She looked like she was well warmed up now for a start coming up around 12 minutes from now. This is Cade Bickmore. Cade out of Colorado had a great season in 2023, winning some of the biggest criteriums on the podium at the National Championship in Knoxville. So certainly one of the young Americans on the team that has a bright future.
Let's go ahead and bring in a message actually for Project Echelon while we wait for a lot of our riders to finish up and get some of our results going. Actually, Eric, I believe he was traveling to a hockey tournament yesterday. I'm not sure if he was traveling home or if he's got more hockey tournaments with the kiddos today, but he did send this message actually via his phone actually, just as a shout out to everybody that's helped make this day exactly what it is.
Nathan, Dave, Zwift Community Live for putting together such a wonderful broadcast for viewers across the world to enjoy. We're so excited at Echelon Racing Promotions to be working in collaboration with USA Cycling and Zwift to put on what we believe is the largest esports national championship event in history. We're super excited to write our own history today. We're extremely grateful for all of our competitors in the elite and masters categories for helping make this happen. We wish all of our competitors the best of luck today. Thank you for being here. We hope you enjoy the broadcast and we hope you come back for more. Have a great day.
Echelon Racing League and USA Cycling in partnership with Zwift and Zwift Community Live. Love to hear it all, don't you, Dave?
I do, no doubt. I'm so impressed by Eric as well. So many good things happening under that man's leadership, and definitely helping us elevate our game as well. So big thank you to Eric and Frank. So this is 8K. We'll have a chance to see how the Omnium updates, but Nathan, I have to think that Brian Duffy Jr. is feeling really good about his chances now. This will go back-to-back with wins out here, and clearly, I would think Brian Duffy Jr. wishes that the World Championships would be coming up in about a week, I would think. You can't find better form than this against a quality field. Brian Duffy Jr., the king of Zwift, again, second win. Hayden Pucker, you don't always have to win a bike race to win a lot of fans. And Hayden, I think he did exactly that. Courageous racing there for Hayden Pucker to end up in second. Neil Frayette has turned himself into an esports star here over the last few months with a solid bronze medal in our Bologna time trial. Eric Levinson ending up in fourth. David Talbot still right there in fifth. Matt Zimmer for sixth. Zach Nair for seventh. Cameron Cogburn for eighth. Scott Catanzaro ends up in ninth. And then Jay Yeager rounding out our top 10. Nathan, the story goes deeper than that. With Jay Brune in 11th, Chris Uberti. So next with a couple riders there in 11th and 12th. Tom Corrigan in 13th. Fred Meredith, noteworthy rider today, in 14th. Spencer Segerbrook in 15th. Eric Hill there for 16th. Nate Sobek in 17th. Michael Reidenbach ending up with 18th. 19th belongs to Riley Reitzman. Good to be in cam with him today. And top 20 was obtained by Paul Napier. Let's see what's going on a little bit deeper now with Alan Lowe in 21st, Brian Kellis in 22nd, Wyatt Paul, good for 23rd, Nate Weekley, 24th in race 2, James Rainbow, 25th. This is Bryce Utsi in 26th, Dennis Schenecker in 27th, Ryan Sample, 28th, Brad Greenberg for 29th, and Chris Fitzia. Rounding out our top 30 from event number 2. So the time trial now done and dusted. Again, that format to me, Nathan, is to die for. I absolutely love watching those in real time trials. Here's our Omnium points now. 400. Perfect score so far for Brian Duffy Jr. It's Neil Frayette moving up into second now with 370 points. Hayden Pucker, after that second place in the time trial, moves up into the third overall. Great job by Farm Watts there in third with 355, 340 for David Talbot, sitting in fourth. Zach Nair in fifth now on points after 2 events with 335. He's got a 10-point advantage over Matt Zimmer. It's going to be Jay Brune in seventh there, I apologize. And he's got got 321 points, 312 for Eric Levinson in 8th, 9 for Cameron Cogburn, and then 10 for Scott Catanzaro there. That's going to be on the Omnium points after our first two events in Richmond.
I mean, hanging out in the top 10. I mean, you can actually see the podium start to develop a little bit here. You still got some striking distance, don't you think, here, Dave? I mean, with Brune, Zimmer, they're right there on the edge for maybe they have a really good finish out in Neokio.
Yeah, so Nathan, when you start doing the math, right, Brian Duffy Jr. is going to be hard to beat, especially with the form that he's brought to the national championships. But, I mean, for Neil Trayette, he's only 30 points behind, meaning if he gets the 200 for the win and Brian Duffy Jr. falls outside of 4th place, all of a sudden, so Brian Duffy Jr., even though he's won the first 2 events and has been dominant, he still can't afford to miss a step. If he falls outside of the top 5 in the final event, he might be in trouble.
Well, Tom Corrigan here sitting in. Now these placings are a little bit off here, as you can see on the left-hand side there, but that's going to be 11th place actually, as it's going to be the order of the current point structure actually in the Omnium for how they've scored for race 1 and race number 2. Spencer Segwin with 280 there. Then it's going to be Jaden Yager. It's going to be Christian Birdie, Fred Meredith, Eric Hill, Nate Sovak. It's going to be Michael Riva and Wyatt Paul and Alan Hall. That's the current situation. Riders now cooling down, waiting for their next race. They're not going to race for another a little bit under 40 minutes there. So, Dave, but the ladies, they're about to take on the same exact course in just a moment. About 5 minutes or so to the start of the ladies' race for this
That's a good question. That's a good question, Nathan. As far as what do you do? That amount of time, 40 minutes, is an awkward gap, isn't it? Do you get off of the bike? Do you take a little bit of time?
You know, for me, I like that you're bringing that up, actually. For me, Dave, personally, I would totally, take a little bit of a break, get some water. I might even eat, a little bit more something of substance. Not a lot, but like a bar, not a gel necessarily, because that sugar, if you put too much just straight sugar in and you don't keep on pedaling, that starts to create reactions in the blood actually that you don't want. That actually, that start reserving sugars and going into this full-on recovery mode. You can put a lot in, but you're going to want a little bit of maybe just a little bit of protein with some carbohydrates, nothing heavy. I wouldn't be eating any kind of meat or anything like that, but I definitely would be, grabbing a power bar or something.
Yeah, the athletes that have the most experience with a scenario like this would be our track cyclists, right? You go to the velodrome and you spend the entire day there. You race in the morning session, you race in the afternoon session, but you really have to figure out how to stay off your legs and keep your mind engaged, but not get too deep into it. So there's a lot that goes into this. So looking forward now, Nathan, to our women's event. After what we just saw with Kristen Kolchinski taking the win in Richmond, she's going to be pretty tough to beat here, as Kristen is also a racer who's got an incredible depth of work. Even though she's not a former professional triathlete or marathon runner, she might have cycled more kilometers on Zwift than any other racer that we've got in esports.
Well, Kolchinski definitely showing up today, hasn't she, Dave? And has shown us that, I was wondering, whether or not she was going to be good to go today, and she answered that question loud and clear up and over the top of Governor Street. What a move by her. Great to see. And, Dave, I know she put a lot of pressure on this, and, with the performances, I think some of them, she's had amazing performances, but I think she's wanted to take it to a next level that we all know that she has, and it just, the stars haven't always aligned. Today, it looks like it might be her day.
I completely agree with you. And that's really, the universe can be really tough on people when you show the world what your dreams are. Makes it sometimes even harder to accomplish them. And if you've been following along the Kristen Kolchinski story, it's really hard to not be pulling for her today. I want to flip, though, to the other side of that, Nathan, as they say that bike racing can be a cruel mistress, right? Well, Elise Gallegos had been doing incredible work up to this point. She was attacking the race with old school fury when she had a power dropout, which is absolutely heartbreaking. And it goes to show you, athletes, you're going to have your bright moments. You're going to have the dark moments. And coming through, and I think that's going to be Elise.
I'm so glad she's here. I'm so glad that.
Me too.
Man, I mean,
she's going to go ballistic. Yeah, and she's going to be really hard to beat in this time trial now. With what the adrenaline spike that she should have, motivation is really interesting and how it hits different athletes. But I have a feeling Elise Gallegos has nothing to prove to the esports world. I think she wants to prove something to herself right now.
Yeah, 2 minutes to go to the start of this race as we jump down into the pens. A little bit. And Jen, you're on mute.
I don't know.
Just so you know, Jen. Well, they're communicating with each other, probably in some sort of a Discord or maybe perhaps over on the Zoom call, perhaps. But we got 1:44 to go here for these ladies. Again, it is a time trial. We're on the Bologna course. They will be taking on what you just saw the men take on. And Dave, it's not going to be calm from the get-go, I would think. I mean, here's the thing. Because they can see the person that they need to race, they could race that way, though, couldn't they?
Absolutely. It's really fascinating when you look at, I guess, if you've been following along, you would realize that this is a time trial. The drafting has been turned off. So even though it looks like they'd be in the slipstream, they're not. So really what becomes key is the pacing off of other riders, and you make a great point, Nathan. So Elise Gallegos, I have a feeling there's some extra motivation here. Kristen Kolchinski comes in on paper as the favorite, especially after what we just saw. Liz Van Houweling in this field, and never count out Jackie Godby. Quite a group that we've got here ready to take the start, including one of the greatest ultra-distance cyclists America has ever seen, Christy Tracy, taking the start here.
Christy Tracy jumping in with us. Be interesting to see how she goes. Good to see her jumping in and competing. Always one of the coolest Zwifters to have with us. 25 seconds to go. Riders starting to ramp up a little bit. They've kept themselves plenty warm, it looks like here. Back in with Elise. It's going to be interesting to see. I want to see how hard she goes. I was, counting her for one of the favorites. But Kristen, I think also, though, a big one for this one, Dave. She is always so strong when it comes to TTs. She loves it.
Yeah,
she really does.
I mean, this is right up her alley when you look at it, is Gallegos ramping things up. She's got her Zwiftcraft figured out really quickly here as we are underway, sending the women out on course. This is race number 2 of our 3-race U.S. National Cycling Championship, USA Cycling National Championship, as it looks like Stephanie Sidlick is going to lead them out onto course. Another rider with tremendous experience. Stephanie can go all the way back to the early days, back during the first days of COVID, was our champion at Tour de Gila.
Oh, that's right. Good call, Dave. It's good to see Stephanie here as she leads things out. Now, Dave, we saw this from Farm Watch early on with Pucker. We have a similar situation perhaps here, but Stephanie, I think she's just interested in her own pace, isn't she?
Yeah, and it's going to be a rapid pace, it looks like, as she's going to go out hard. Now, she's one of the riders, Nathan, I'm a little bit surprised to see this. She's one of the better climbers in our field. I thought maybe she'd hold her cards to play them a little bit later. But that group right behind her with Christy Tracy, the Riot rider, going to lead them up. You really have to get used to the fact that there's no draft here. As you would think, wow, Kolchinski doing a great job of taking advantage of Tracy setting the pace, but that's not the case here, as everybody's in their own world of hurt on this 8-kilometer course.
I love the way that she's riding this. I really do like the way that she's riding this here. Tracy now, though, steady as well. Good to see Christy Tracy really taking the bull by the horns here. This is a rider that, on this section of course, I have a feeling that she's definitely going to shine a little bit amongst the riders out here today, because she is very strong in this type of a event. Christy Tracy on these flatter sections, she's just got these raw watts that she can work with.
Yeah, I mean, if you looking at Christy Tracy in cam right now, she's done a lot of
Look
work
at the kid.
over the last few years.
Endorphin Junkie. Nice headband, by the way. There. Christy, I absolutely love it.
Boy, and really look at the focus here too, Nathan. Christy Tracy's, we've really been following her story over the last 4 or 5 years. She actually was in the Zwift Academy back in 2018 and has been very, very active on Zwift, as well as really turning herself into one of America's premier ultra endurance time trialists. If you can find an event over 100 miles, that's really her bread and butter. So this is a little short for Christy Tracy.
Yeah. And definitely now going to be overtaken, though, by none other than our current Omnium leader. That is going to be Kristen Kolchinski now trying to chase down Stephanie Sidlick. Dave, is this going to be a situation where a lot of the other riders just start watching Kolchinski ride away with this one? I don't know. Van Houweling and Gallegos, though, Dave, I have a feeling that, as you said, at least she's going to be really wanting to come back after what happened in that last race.
The other thing, yes, Nathan, no doubt, Elise Gallegos is a world-class triathlete. She's going to have a better pacing plan, in my mind, than any other racer here. She really understands how you do this, which is pace yourself through an 8-kilometer time trial that has basically about 2 kilometers of brutal climbing at the end. If you hit the bottom of that climb gassed, God be with you. Good luck. Riders like Kristen Kolchinski, Stephanie Sidlick, they're really experienced. They know exactly what they're doing right now. And I have a feeling that Gallegos is very, very happy with the situation. This is going to turn into one of the great showdowns, Nathan. I'm predicting that about 5 minutes from now, we're going to sell you the whole seat, but you're only going to use the edge with a race this exciting.
Yeah, take a look here. This is going to be Sidlick and Kolchinski with a 3-second gap over the top of Christy Tracy. Liz Van Houweling pacing pretty well. It looks like 4.5 watts per kilogram coming from her. Roach there right along with her. It's going to start seeing how these gaps are starting to form between the riders. Again, there is no draft on at all, but they can pace themselves off of the other riders. Roach now right along with Van Houweling. As you can see, Liz Van Houweling now 163 beats per minute. I'm wondering for Van Houweling here as how she is currently looking, because Dave, she was cool as a cucumber before. You got that same kind of a look. There it is, Dave. Still, same look coming here from Liz.
Yeah, I mean, she looks like she's dancing on the pedals as well. So not only is she mentally clear, but Liz Van Houweling looks like she's in a good place mentally. Let's see what she can pull off out here today. Liz has historically been one of the 3 best Americans in the sport, and she's still in that conversation, absolutely. So, again, you never really know where these athletes are at form-wise, but Liz Van Houweling has the potential to be an esports world champion. No doubt. You just need all the stars to line up, but that holds true for all of these athletes. Kristen Kolchinski, probably, Nathan, I think in most people's minds comes in as the favorite, but I think that's also because a lot of folks haven't had experience watching Elise Gallegos race all that much. Gallegos is pacing herself very, very well when you look at what she's planning, in my mind, for the back half of this course.
Point. This 7 seconds is nothing, Dave. It's nothing when it comes to the back end of this at all.
And especially imagine, when you come into that critical moment, even though you're 7 seconds behind, you've got a full tank. Everybody else is operating on fumes.
Yeah, I mean, at 4.5 watts per kilogram, she's keeping it, not under, just a little bit maybe threshold, under threshold. The heart rate is high, 171 beats per minute, but I think she's got plenty to work with here. Kolchinski has gained 8 seconds now at this point, up into the 176, following Sidlick. So this is going to be an interesting situation. Dave, I want to remind everybody where things stand for the minor placings here. Liz Van Houweling, she is in second place overall right now. Sidlick there with 180, who's currently leading us. M. Nyquist, Dave, but she's 20. This is where Nyquist may struggle with the raw power. She's a Zwifter, Dave. She's got the Zwift craft, but man, when it comes down to this kind of a raw power situation, and racing yesterday, winning Masters Nationals at 40 to 44, maybe Nyquist going to slip down the leaderboard a little bit.
Liz Van Houweling, Nathan, has to be happy with where she's sitting right now, as she's still really in contention. Although Kolchinski, spotting her 5 seconds at this point, that's not a good plan in my mind, to tell you the truth. Kristen Kolchinski is not going to fade on the climb, so I wouldn't give her any more time than she's got right now.
Yeah, it's a good, but here's the thing, you got to race your race, right? And I mean, there's just a reality. It's going to be tough, but at the same time, when you've got a national championship, sometimes you got to take certain kinds of risks, or it's just said and done. But perhaps Van Houweling here is, look, I've got to do what I got to do to get the best result I possibly can. Currently sitting in second, Dave, and then she has an amazing result in the Yokio, maybe bumps up a couple, because I mean, 190, 190, 190, that can win a day if Kolchinski doesn't come with all the beans on the last race.
Yeah, and it's interesting because when you look at what happened with Elise Gallegos in race number 1, she now becomes a spoiler here. She's not going to be able to win the national championship. There's just not enough points left after she takes a really unfortunate power dropout. So, but what she could do is if she gets up there and starts taking away points at the top of the table, she might be more helpful for Liz Van Houweling. That's a bit of a stretch in some ways, but when you look at it now, Elise Gallegos is really a wild card out here.
Yeah, completely, Dave. It definitely changes up the entire stratosphere about what the air feels like, right? With the way that she is going to be able to ride, because everybody's going to be having this wild card that definitely changes things up. Now again, Bologna time trial, 1 lap, 8K, 236 meters of climbing out here today. Sidlik and Kolchinski are about 10 to 9 seconds up from the rider we're looking at on screen here, which is Elise Gallegos. But Dave, they're all within sight of each other still for these top spots.
How about Stephanie Sidlik today? She can climb. She's on the front of this bike race. This would be, I don't want to say stunning, but it would be an upset if Stephanie Sidlik can pull off this win when you look at the quality of the field with riders like Kristen Kolchinski. But Kolchinski is here to do one thing, and that's win.
Here we go, Dave. Kolchinski, 5.3 watts per kilogram, and this is a familiar situation we've seen many times where she just starts to slowly ramp it up, and she gets into this mode, Dave, where she just starts to really grind at the gears and have that motivation, Dave. And look, there she is. Up and I'll settle for a moment, but now sits back down, going to settle in here, Dave. Now, here's the thing. I mean, man, it's a long day, right, Dave? There's a lot of racing here, and, you know, Sidlik and the rest has Kolchinski. I mean, Kolchinski won by 10 seconds. She needed to win by 1. You know, the question might start coming into energy, and does she have it all the way to the finish line here when it comes to all 3 races? That would be the only question in the back of my mind about her winning out here today.
That's interesting, Nathan. You talk about that. So, yeah, if Kolchinski is in a dominant position, she would want to back off in the last bit of this race. Is really for her, the biggest concern has got to be Liz Van Houweling, who's sitting third wheel. Liz is 10 points behind. So that's really her focus as far as this second race of 3 goes. But Kolchinski looks like she's doing what...
No. Oh, man, now Stephanie Sidlik here. Something happening here with Stephanie. And I'm wondering, Dave, perhaps... Oh, she does get it going again. She does get it going again. There's frustration, obviously, on the face there of Sidlik. She does get moving again, so good to see that she is able to re-engage. We'll see if she can bring back some time. Now, Kolchinski was going away from her. At this point, you know, there is the mental note in her that, look, I can still get the place back that I had when that happened.
And that's going to be Sidlik going by Melissa Aitken. So that back and forth is happening after that dropout. She's able to recover. Kolchinski's still on the front. Van Houweling, though, here comes Elise Gallegos. So Gallegos moving up into second wheel. So if you're Kolchinski, Nathan, and it's going to be almost impossible to get this message through to her, but Elise Gallegos is not your problem. But Kolchinski races to win. There's no doubt about that in my mind. So, but again, they could let Gallegos go. And if your goal here is winning the national championship, I think that it might be 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. To tell you the truth, is Kolchinski's just going to race the way she races. That's Gallegos that we're in with now, up and out of the saddle, throwing some more watts at the problem. As Gallegos is going to lock horns with Kolchinski. Van Houweling now still right there. So this is going to be really interesting, Nathan.
It is, as Gallegos now kicking here. It looks like probably putting some frustration into the pedals now at this point, looking to try and get a good result on this second race here. Kolchinski now off the front. He's already got that 8 seconds. Now, we did see in the men's race, Hayden Pucker with an early, he had 21 seconds at this point and was caught at the line by Brian Duffy Jr. Really, Dave, it's interesting. It gets so steep in the back half, David. If you come with some speed up and over the top of that 11%, 15, 12. I mean, it gets way up in the gradients. And if you can carry more, I mean, it's exponential the speed gains you get if you've got more power through those sections.
Gallegos starting to ride away from Sidlick now. Kolchinski still holding on to 8 seconds. It's interesting to watch now is right behind. That's Van Houweling, who is the real danger woman now for Kolchinski sitting back in fourth wheel. So actually Kolchinski's going to be happy to see Gallegos taking that spot in front of Van Houweling. That's exactly what I was talking about, how Gallegos, Nathan, becomes a spoiler. She takes points off the table that Van Houweling would be getting that would put her closer to Kolchinski. So Kolchinski's got to be pretty happy right now.
Yeah, she does. And you can see here 173 beats per minute currently, 292 watts, 16.6 kilometers per hour is the traveling speed.
Yeah, just to be clear, Kolchinski, what she really needs is Gallegos to finish between her and Van Houweling. That's the ideal situation for Kolchinski here.
100%, and that's a good call there, Dave, to keep in mind the games that are going to be played out on course. There's a little bit of chess now that's able to be played, isn't there, in an Omnium like this?
Yeah, and that's what Omniums are all about. It's stunning to me how I think of events like Tulsa Tough, Nathan, where you can kind of watch the racing casually and have no idea that rider picking up seconds and thirds is the one that's going to win.
Now Levinson's going backwards here. Talbot now up and over the top. Patient out there today. Talbot here is going to round out your top 5. I didn't know if Duffy Jr. could climb like this. 492 watts. Now the kick comes from Duffy Jr. Is he going to just put the nail in the coffin for everybody?
Wow! This man is a human wattage cottage as Brian Duffy Jr. came here to win a national.
Oh, look at the face of Freyet. He's really struggling now at this point, Dave. Can he hold on to this wheel? He's going to kick again. He's up and out of the saddle, as you can see here. Duffy Jr., Pucker. This is your top 3 at this point. They're separated by about 6 seconds. Pucker with the last ditch to the line here. I'm going to take a look here now over to Pucker. Pucker might be able to make this. He's got 6 seconds. But Dave, Duffy Jr.'s coming on like a freight train.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at Duffy Jr., he looks like he is rolling right now, picking up more momentum as now he's going back to the whip. That's going to be Hayden Pucker in the red jersey here. Pucker trying to hold off an esport legend. He's making his name right now. There
Duffy
he is.
Jr.
Taking the whip.
Right there. Overtaken over the top. Now he's going to do it. He gets the better of him. I thought perhaps Farm Watts had done it. Now here comes Neil Freyet as well, Dave. Can he hold on? But it's going to be Duffy Jr. Hayden tries to respond. He's unable to do it. Pucker not going to be able to take down Duffy Jr.
It's still an incredible ride from Hayden Pucker. I mean, this is going to go down as his memorable performance to date. You just can't beat the king as Brian Duffy Jr. goes 2 for 2 here in our 3-race Omnium. That is the king of Zwift here. 2 wins now. That's really, really impressive, Nathan. Brian Duffy Jr. is in fuego here today at our USA Cycling National Championships.
Yeah, he is. What a move there by Duffy Jr. So patient out there today. Talbot here is going to round out your top 5 for the second race of 3 in our Omnium. Now it is going to be Zimmer coming on through for 6th place. Zach Meir right behind him as well. For it looks like next presented by Insured, Cameron Cogburn here. Still top 10s, Dave. This is plenty of points because we've got quite the battle here for the Omnium for that podium spot still.
Yeah, the lion's share of points really being distributed right now as they come up and over the top of this climb. That was Cameron Cogburn for Sarah's No Pins finishing. We're in with Scott now, our Master National Champion, and he's on a roll right now. Scott's going to finish up.
Another national champion, Yager. I mean, look at this. We've got lots of stars and stripes fighting for stars and stripes. I absolutely love it, Dave.
How about this ride from Eric Hill? The leader of the Project Echelon program is going to find, looks like a top 15 or even better than that, as we've now got Tom Corrigan rolling through here. Scott and Squirrel, cheer him off.
Nicely done for Corrigan here. Meredith, the rider we were talking about earlier, coming out.